Americans, Westerners, people of Europe and North America. I think I've figured it out. I believe I've finally cracked the code. Like now I know what is wrong with the folks who are always making a scene and drawing attention to themselves, all in the name of fighting for a cause. These attention-seeking, narcissistic, self-obsessed activists all have one common denominator. See, these people lack proper home training. Their parents and probably every member of their family have failed them tremendously. And I can imagine that these folks never received the tough love of a disciplined father or the no-nonsense, you better behave yourself look from a Nigerian mother. See, I hear corporal punishment is equal to child abuse in America. But when I see the way some adults behave in the West, these so-called adults, matured people, when I see the way they behave in the West, it's clear that none of these people receive the nutrient and natural minerals that come from ass whooping. There's this nutrient, there's this value that comes from getting your ass whooped that this adult did not receive. They are lacking in it. It is one of the blessings that come from having African parents. You see, African parents understand that if you spare the rod, you end up spoiling the child. You see, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction will drive it far from him. And what you have in the West are overgrown babies who look well advanced in age, but clearly childish stupidity is still bound up and stitched firmly to their hearts. Now you have a bunch of snowflakes and crybabies. Yes, that's what they are. Snowflakes and crybabies who have been overindulged and spoilt. Their behavior and attitude have the stench of a 3-month-old carcass infested with flies and maggots. Yet they walk around with an air of self-importance and self-obsession, thinking that they are better than anyone else and have some moral superiority because they are standing for some cause that they can't even explain. And there are no two ways about it. The older generation has failed this current generation in the West. You've taught them you've taught this generation that they are special, right? Perfect, important. And I've refused to hurt their feelings with the truth. Now they won't believe anyone who tells them the obvious reality that they are moronic and full of the stuff in Pampers. So why am I talking like this? Well, I have some clips here of young people who have so much passion and vigor, but are morally and intellectually bankrupt. And this has made them a nuisance to society with nothing meaningful to offer to the world. But they claim to be activists. So I guess that they are the good guys and I am a terrible person with probably a poisonous tongue. Anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Climate Change Activist Exhibit 1. Take a look.
Security.
What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis. Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
Oh, God. Jehovah. What is the wisdom behind this nonsense? Like, what exactly is the rationale behind this nonsense? What are these ladies trying to achieve? You go to a museum and deface a priceless painting that has nothing to do with climate change. Then you come up with an incoherent speech about how your terrible behavior somehow has something to do with climate change. Somehow. What you say, what is worth more, art or life? What exactly are you saying? What exactly is your point? What's your point? Tell me your point. What does Vincent Van Gogh have to do with ExxonMobil? You say the cost of the living prices is part of the cost of the oil crisis. I guess it rhymes, right? So somehow it should be loaded with some kind of hidden wisdom, Abi? But what does that have to do with anything? Maybe you should take that your nursery rhyme of a speech to the president of Russia or the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Listen, I know your father was probably never around, which is sad. He's probably one of those rich executives working tirelessly to build an empire at the expense of his family. But it is unfair. It is just unfair for the rest of the world, for the rest of society to pay for the high cost of fuel. You know how high the cost of fuel is right now. We are paying for that and also paying for the higher cost of your father's negligence. It is just unfair. I mean, how dumb can you be? The glue you are using for this grand display of stupidity is made from that high cost of the oil crisis. And the same goes for the dye you use to deface your hair anyway. But this is just this is just one in a million of mindless morons. So I present to you Climate Change Activist Exhibit 2. Take a look.
It is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than oil giants like Exxon, Shell and BP. The top four dairy companies are responsible for the majority of methane emissions. We talk about people protesting on violence, we just know about the injustice of an industry. No, it's not suitable for human consumption. When cows are taken from their mothers, when baby cows are taken from their mothers, when mothers are forcibly impregnated. This is a peaceful protest against the campaign Animal Rebellion and they're taking direct action to pull out the dairy industry. We are not violent.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey. Frank, calm down. Calm down. Oh, Jesus. See, I know I often talk trash about various nonsense going on in the West, but I have to give credit where credit is due. And this is one of those instances. Because I can't imagine these people doing this nonsense in a supermarket run by Chinedu and Sons in Idumota. Hey, see, nobody is going to call the police. This is not a police matter at all. The people in the store and the workers in the store can handle this miscreant with ease. When they have finished beating you, you will mop the floor, pay for every drop of milk you spilled on the floor, and then you will understand what it means to actually fight for climate change. Because clearly you're not fighting for climate change. You're just attacking someone's business, and everyone is walking past the disruption like it's just another Wednesday at the mall. Now, I'm not calling for violence on these people. Of course, there's no way violence is going to be inflicted on these people. I mean, you guys live in a tolerant society. This kind of movement is meant with zero resistance, and people just let you get away with this criminal activity, right? And what pains me the most about these climate change activists is that they have no idea what they are fighting for. They are more interested in being passionate than they are in being accurate. You see, these people are standing for something even when they don't know what they are standing for. And in this last clip that I'm about to show you, you will see the worst of them all. The ones who hinder the free flow of traffic, all in the name of climate change. And here they are asked questions about what they are blocking the road for, and these dummies have no clue about what they are protesting. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Climate Change Activist Exhibit 3. Take a look.
Hello guys, good morning. You don't want to speak? Oh. Hello, how are you doing? What does your boss think about you being here today? Why was there a warming period in the Roman times over a couple of hundred years? It was exceptionally warm and then it got cold. Can you explain that? There wasn't any industrial revolution then.
Why are we talking about minor periods of warming?
What do you think about the international declaration signed by 1,100 climate scientists who said that there is no climate emergency?
They're not climate scientists.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is their science the wrong kind of science?
It's not. Yeah, they.
But how much data is the recent studies based on? A couple hundred years? Do you know how many years worth of data your modelling is based off?
I'm not a climate scientist, so...
Right, but you should know how many years worth of data the modelling is based off.
I am an environmental scientist myself.
Can you tell me how many years your data is based over?
It's based... What are you talking about?
Do you know what % of global emissions the UK is responsible for?
to you. I don't actually know the current number.
Do you know what percent of global emissions the UK is responsible for?
But we're a world leader. Do you know what percentage the UK is responsible for?
Hang on a minute. Answer that question first.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
try.
small, but we're a world leader on that stage. We have to lead the way.
That lady there is also an environmental scientist.
Exactly, and that's why it's even more shocking. She doesn't know how many years of data that your modelling is based off.
That lady
Do you know that?
has also been travelling from Scotland.
Oh, she's tired.
Overnight.
She's tired.
Has not slept more than 3 hours.
Wow. You know, if you're going to organize people and make them cause a major nuisance on the highway, maybe you should spend a few months educating yourself and your friends about the thing they want to protest, right? And you don't need an appeal to authority to be able, you don't need a degree. You don't need a degree or an appeal to authority to be able to defend your position. You don't. But I get it. You see, I get it. Ignorance mixed with the lack of home training, slowly cooked in an overly tolerant society, can do that to anyone. And like Nigerians will say, I don't blame you. No, I don't. I blame your parents who refuse to give you proper home training. Those are the people that need to be blamed.